It all started with Hannah's dream.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I had such a strange dream last night. Elijah the prophet appeared to me.
Wow.
There he was, looking a lot like my Uncle Pincus.
How did you know it was Elijah and not your uncle?
Oh, he was riding a donkey. Pincus doesn't do donkeys. Anyway, Elijah said that the Messiah, the Mashiach, is waiting nearby, but we won't let him in. And sure enough, I looked at the door and it was bolted shut. I tried pulling the door open really hard, but it was stuck.
What does it mean?
I don't know. I'm going to ask ChatGPT and see what she thinks.
It used to be that whenever people had a question, like do you put candles on a Hanukkah menorah, right to left or left to right, or whether it is permissible to use an elephant for one of the sides of a sukkah, they would ask their rabbi. Nowadays, ChatGPT has taken over this responsibility.
Hannah, I'm so glad you asked. Oi, what does Freud say about donkeys? Then there's the 16th century dream interpretation manual, Mefasher Chalmin. Also, we have to search the Midrash and the vast corpus of the legal texts, the Talmud, the Rishonim, the Acharonim, and the Makaronim. Hannah, here's your answer. Your dream means that the Messianic age is practically here. It will arrive next Friday, sometime between 9:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. However, the Mashiach will only come if all Jews follow the laws of the Torah. Hannah, my dear and discerning friend, would you like me to add more detail? Or perhaps compose a poem about it for you in Swahili?
No thanks. But tell me, what should I do?
Put this up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's all you need to do. God will take care of the rest.
Thank you, ChatGPT. You always come through for me.
You're always welcome, Hannah. Sei gesund.
Hannah followed ChatGPT's recommendation, and the dream went viral and became a sensation. In fact, it went so super viral that they had to develop a vaccine for it. However, this development attracted the attention of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and he issued a stern public warning.
This vaccine is highly dangerous. It is contraindicated for all ages. Children and adolescents who take it will become glued to their phones. Seniors 65 and older who take it will talk incessantly about their health issues. And adults between 18 and 65 who take it will be, among other ill effects, extremely likely to develop love handles.
Vaccine use dropped. Messianic fever rose to a fever pitch. Religious leaders had to respond. They put aside sectarian differences and united behind a single message, a miracle. Rabbi Ari Luria, an Orthodox leader from Yeshiva University, joined with Rabbi Elaine Hesh, leader of the Reform movement.
Ha da 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 da. I've never shared the podium with a female religious leader before. May I call you Miss Het?
How about Rabbi Hesh? We've put aside the issues where we disagree.
Because we are united with this urgent plea.
The Mashiach is knocking. He's right outside.
Let's bring him in by making the Torah our guide. No entrance fee to pay, just do mitzvahs every day. Light Shabbos candles, ladies, and men to fill and lay. Family purity, take a break from sexual play. Give to the needy, that's the Torah way. Since women raise the children and maintain the house, you're exempt from time-bound mitzvahs, unlike your spouse.
Like the rabbi said, do mitzvot and make your life consecrated. Keep in mind that in God's image, everyone's created. Don't be boxed in by out-of-date sexual norms. Mitzvot are for folks of all genders to perform. Seek justice, love mercy, like our prophets inculcate. Join our congregation with sacred music, celebrate. Stay for a tasty kiddush. You'll schmooze and fill your plate.
Our Orthodox services, we too have wonderful kiddushes. And we mumble our prayers with great intensity.
Yes, we put aside the issues where we disagree.
Because we are united with this urgent plea.
The Mashiach is knocking. He's right outside.
Let's bring him in by making the Torah our guide. When the Mashiach comes, we will all have a miraculous future to look forward to. God will lead us all back to the promised land. The dead will rise. They will roll there through the sand. We'll rebuild the temple. Right where it used to stand, the prophesied redemption will finally be at hand. All people will praise God, every nation without fail. Joy and peace will everywhere prevail.
Thank you, Rabbi Luria. Today, this ancient vision may sound so sophomoric, but it has enormous power when it's seen as metaphoric. When we live the prophet's teachings, spoken with God's inspiration, we won't need this hocus pocus or prestidigitation. With an end to war, oppression, poverty, and panic, we'll already be living in an era Messianic.
Every one of the details of the Messianic time that I describe was taught by our prophets. In any event, we agree on the urgent message of the day. Follow the Torah. And to all of you who are not among the people of Israel, don't worry, you will have all the benefits too. In the meantime, be sure to do your part by following the 7 Noahide commandments, the ones that every descendant of Noah must follow. Kulam.
Do not profane God's oneness in any way.
Do not curse your Creator, even if you are very angry.
Do not murder.
Respect God's creatures. Don't eat a limb of a still living animal.
Do not steal.
Observe decency in your sexual practices.
Establish courts of law and ensure justice in our world.
Naturally, the lifestyle entertainment industry responded to the Mashiach's imminent arrival.
Welcome to Cook's Tour. I'm your host, Padma Lakshmi. My guest today is Einad Admoni, internationally famous Israeli chef. Einad, thank you for being here.
My pleasure, Padma.
With the Messianic age fast approaching, I understand that there's a special food associated with it. Please tell us about it.
It's a great sea creature. In English, they call it Leviathan, but in traditional Hebrew text, it's called Leviathan.
What's the special connection of this creature with the Messiah?
After the Mashiach comes, the Kadosh Baruch Hu, as we call God, will reward the righteous people by serving them slices of this fearsome but also delectable sea creature. God defeated and tamed the Leviathan before creating heaven and earth and kept it for millions of years just for this occasion.
How does a person know if she or he or they are one of the righteous?
We don't know. We must wait until the Mashiach comes to find out. But you can increase your chances by performing as many mitzvot as you can.
What does Leviathan taste like?
Oh, it's very special. It's kind of like pastrami, but more so.
Is there any part that chefs especially prize or a part that's less preferred?
Yes, the belly area is highly prized. If you have a choice, that's what to ask for. The area around the head is full of bones and gristle. So you might ask the Kadosh Baruch Hu or a ministering angel to take it back and exchange it for another part. However, the head does make an excellent stock for soup.
Thank you, Einat Admoni, for joining us to demystify this mouth-watering Messianic morsel. I understand that you're leaving us with a special treat.
Yes, Padma, I uploaded to the Cook's Tour website a few of my favorite Leviathan recipes. Leviathan marbella, Leviathan schnitzel, and Leviathan consommé with leeks and asparagus. Enjoy!
Not everybody is thrilled about this messianic enthusiasm. In Washington, D.C., in a lobbyist's plush office, titans of industry gather.
This messianic movement took us completely by surprise. Not one of our market researchers predicted it.
No one in our focus group said anything either. And then, out of nowhere, Messianic fever exploded onto the scene. But how long can people keep up performing mitzvahs day after day? It'll fizzle out soon, for sure.
You could be right, but I've never seen such intense excitement. We put out a cheese called Messianic Munster, and it sold out in 40 minutes. A secondary market developed on Facebook Marketplace that pushed up the price 400%. But why did you call us here?
I called you because my daughter brought something critical to my attention, something that concerns us all. She saw an item on the Purim 24/7 website taken from the Talmud. It says after the Messiah comes, the existing Jewish holidays will fade in importance and people will stop paying attention to them. For example, why commemorate the liberation from slavery in Egypt when people are now experiencing the ultimate redemption? And why celebrate the Torah on Mount Sinai when people are themselves experiencing a new and even more dramatic revelation of God's power?
So, all the holidays are going to fade into insignificance?
Every holiday except one. People will still celebrate Purim. We know this because the Megillah commands us to celebrate Purim for all time, which includes the Messianic period. Also, unlike the other holidays, the Jews rescued themselves on Purim without any direct divine intervention. Therefore, Purim will still be relevant even during a time of divine redemption.
What about Hanukkah? The Jews defeated the Syrians without any divine help.
You might have a good argument there, and some rabbis agree with you, but others point to the miracle of the oil as being outside of human intervention. So if the Messiah comes, think about what the loss of these holidays will mean for our businesses and for the thousands of workers and their families.
His matzah baking empire is going to crumble.
The value of his shares in the bakery will tumble. He is a mogul who used to fly high. Now he'll end up like last month's matzah bride. No one seems to care when Shavuot comes around.
So nor will his cheesecake and princes be found.
There are no dairy eats, just Leviathan treats. Once his dairy shuts down, he'll be out on the street. When New Year approaches, our shofar supply gathers dust in their crates, 'cause no one wants to buy.
And the rush on fresh brisket will slow to a crawl.
Sadly, no shopper will buy meat at all.
The folks are excited, the Mashiach's so nice.
But the new business outlook is as cold as dry ice. What will they do? They must force a delay, somehow to drive the Mashiach away.
How are business moguls going to do this? They try hard to think up a solution, but they just can't wrap their tefillin around it.
There must be a way we can stop people from doing mitzvahs or slow them down. Tie their shoelaces together or put sour cream in their shawarma. But what?
What we need to do is to persuade everyone to keep violating an important commandment.
That's a promising idea. But we have to figure out, one, which commandment, and two, how to get the vast number of people to keep violating it. That's a tall order.
It's not so hard if we tackle one at a time. Which commandment should we focus on? It's a narrow field. Only 613 to choose from. To decide which mitzvah is especially important, let's use the empirical method. Which mitzvah is mentioned the most times in the Torah?
Is it observing Shabbat?
No, Shabbat's only mentioned in a handful of places, but concern for the stranger is commanded 36 times, far more than any other mitzvah.
That's so true. So true. But concern for the stranger, that's much too hard to get people to violate, since we're all descended from immigrants. It's like telling people to turn their backs on their ancestors.
And surely it's too big a job for us. How can we, just a handful of multi-billionaires, take on a project so big?
You're right. We can't do this alone, but in addition to our own campaign, if we can use our influence in the halls of power and give money to the right people, we can get the government to do the heavy lifting. We can multiply our impact by getting the government to teach people to hate and reject their immigrant neighbors.
I see. We're going to whisper in the ears of politicians who are against immigrants, bankroll them, and encourage them to teach the public to hate and reject immigrants.
Yes, and since Esther used a strategy like this in the Purim story to influence the king to save our people, how about if we call our effort Project Esther?
Project Esther. I like the sound of that. But what about the non-Jews? Caring for the stranger isn't one of the 7 Noahide commandments. We need to convince the Goyim to violate a different commandment.
Here's my suggestion. Do not murder is one of those 7 mitzvahs, and maybe the most important one. How about if we make it really easy for people to murder their neighbors by campaigning to make guns freely and legally available?
That's a great idea. Maybe the coffin manufacturers will support our project. So, what happens next?
I'll bring it to our lobbyist to talk with us. We also need a celebrity to front our campaign. I have just the right person in mind. Alex Borstein from the hit TV show The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's popular with all age demographics, and she already has a relationship with us as corporate pitchwoman for our matzahs.
Oh, yes. Doesn't she have that slogan, 18 minutes of ecstasy?
So, what do you think about this plan?
It's great. Let's go. Next day, the matzah manufacturer confers with Alex Borstein.
To sum it up, this messianic fever, if unchecked, is likely to lead our people to their ruin. This is exactly what happened in the past with Shabbatai Tzvi and other messianic pretenders. We're mounting an urgent campaign to protect our people by putting the brakes on their mitzvah-performing compulsions. To have the greatest impact, we're initially targeting the most frequently cited mitzvah in the Torah, caring for and protecting strangers. Of course, we're living in a society today where strangers, such as immigrants, are more of a menace than a help. We're going to highlight the dangers immigrants pose: murder, rape, home invasion, terrorism, and more, so the Jews will think twice about protecting them. To amplify the message, we're working to get the federal government to partner with us, which is why we call our program Project Esther. You are so well known and beloved as a role model in our community, and you've had such a remarkable impact on matzah sales as well, that we would like you to be our public ambassador. Because this is such a big endeavor, we will triple your current contract.
You're going to triple my current contract?
We'd pay you even more if we could afford it. But absolutely, we have enormous respect for you and your enthusiasm for what you will bring by participating in this project.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to sign with Project Vashti instead.
Project Vashti? The queen before Esther? The one that Ahasuerus banished for refusing to come to his drunken party? What project is that?
I'm going to organize people to stop your immigrant bashing program. And so I'm adopting Vashti's strategy. To quote the former queen, I'm turning down the invitation.
Project Esther's moving forward. Now it has a head of steam. But if you're with Project Vashti, hold on to your dream. All our dreams are like a lantern. They can light the path ahead. Let us travel forward by
despite everything.